Bright Suns, and welcome back to our Elden Ring podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
Welcome back to Eldens and Rings.
Eldens and Rings, you've heard it
Yeah.
here. Well, as always, my name is Jared Hendrickson. Joining me for today's podcast is Liam Hampshire. Say hello, Liam.
Hey.
So, as always, this is a Disney podcast. We talk about things Disney. As Liam and I wish for this week, we wish it was a Elden Ring podcast because we're both caught up on all things Elden Ring going on right now. For those of you who are on the internet, know how popular that is, besides the war in Ukraine, which is also a hot topic. Liam, how do you feel about starting the war in Ukraine? You feel good about yourself?
You know, I think as long as the Ukrainian soldiers go with the magic build, I think they'll stand a pretty good chance against the Russian force, as long as they have a shield and they make sure to parry. Those are my thoughts on, as far as I know, everything that's happened in the past week.
They need to put those foolish ambitions of the Russians to rest.
Yeah, Putin needs to put his foolish ambitions to rest, man.
Oh gosh.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Okay, so besides Elden Ring, what else do we got going on? So I know we haven't had an episode in a couple of weeks. We're always saying we're gonna make this weekly, and then things happen where no one's available to record because of life. So,
yeah. Also, it's not.
Yeah, what's up?
I was just gonna say. Also, it's not like there's like groundbreaking like Disney news every week. So
I mean, there was literal groundbreaking news. I mean, that's what we're here to talk about this week.
I guess that's also fair because showing up to this podcast is also my only source of Disney news. So.
There you go. See, so for those of you who are in the Disney sphere, in the past like 2 or 3 weeks, actually a lot has been going on. Started to talk about that first little groundbreaking thing. I believe it was Downtown Disney. They started like the remodel of Downtown Disney. So they literally I think one of my friends showed me a video. They were destroying the old AMC and like the Starbucks that were there. Have you seen anything about that, Liam?
No, I rarely know anything about like what's going on at Disneyland.
So so Downtown Disney at Disneyland. So for those of you who don't know, Disneyland is trying to like redo completely, like not completely, but like reimagine Downtown Disney. So they have this plan of like where they've like started off by like demolishing a few of the old buildings there. So one of them was the Starbucks, one of them was like the old AMC. I'm not too sure. I'd have to double check to see which other buildings they're planning on destroying. I know that they're planning on getting rid of Earl of Sandwich. So like my friend and I, we went and we got Earl of Sandwich before like it closed and shut down completely. I don't know.
Like a pizza place?
No, it was like a sandwich place. Like I'm trying to think what type of sandwich place. Or it's just like a standard sandwich place. I don't know. It was okay. It was like my first time going. It's like this thing I'm reading on the OCR says the Earl of Sandwich Shop, Sugar Boo Shop, and Starbucks West End Coffee Shop will close, and those locations, along with the former AMC theaters, will be demolished. So yeah, they've already begun like demolishing them. So if you're in downtown Disney, I might be there tomorrow. I'm planning on visiting Disneyland tomorrow to try and see. Well, it leads into our next topic, but to see Toontown. Gwyneth will also be there tomorrow, so I'll get to say hi to her. But like if you're in the Disney area and you go to downtown Disney, you're bound to see some areas that are blocked off, some different entrances, areas you can't access because of all the demolition going on. Hopefully, it doesn't like affect the air quality if you're there. I don't know, Liam. Do you plan on seeing any of the construction going on over there? I guess if when we're there in May, you'll see it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'll definitely see. I definitely definitely go see it when we go in May. I still haven't figured out if uh, I've still haven't figured out if I when like what day or days I want to go to Disneyland other than that. Because part of me is wondering if it would be better to just if it would be worse to do it. Because part of me wants to just do the all day, on like do the day of May the 4th and then go all the way through the night.
Uh-huh.
And part of me also wonders if it would be better to do it separate days so that I'm not like for whatever reason, if I don't want to be tired of Disneyland by the time that all the Star Wars stuff happens.
You're gonna get
If that
tired
makes
at
sense.
Disneyland in the 4 hours you're there before the event starts.
I don't know. Well, I mean, it's what the because if the event starts at like because if
Six.
I'm gonna get
It's
it,
like 6-ish.
yeah. So if I'm getting a daytime ticket to go to Disneyland, I'll probably want to if I'm getting a daytime ticket to go to Disneyland, I'm gonna want to go for like as much time as I can,
Yeah.
like that I have. So I'll probably go for I don't know when does it open?
When is what open?
Like Disneyland. What time does it like
Oh, I think it's
people?
like 8 o'clock is when you can get in park.
Yes. Yeah, so I'd probably go like, 8 o'clock or something like that. And so it'd
On a
be
separate
I'd
day
have already
or
no, even if I like whatever day I get a daytime like ticket to go, I'd probably want to go
like the whole
like
day.
the whole day. So it'd be
Yeah.
so when stuff started, I'd have already been there for like 10 hours at that point.
Uh-huh.
And
And then you got to factor in some time if you want to visit downtown Disney because if we're going for May the 4th, we might not have because like the event goes late into the night, I think it goes to like 12 or 1 a.m. or something. So
yeah,
there's no guarantee that downtown Disney's open that late. So if you wanted to like not that downtown Disney's like a must see. I don't know, maybe some people disagree with me. I just think it's like a shopping center. Like you can always go to a shopping center whenever. So you wouldn't be missing too much, but like you wouldn't be able to see like the different call it the different shops and things they have there. Like if you do go during the day for Disneyland, or yeah, during the day on May the 4th, as opposed to like maybe like you get there early, in we walk around a bit inside downtown Disney and then go over to the May the 4th stuff.
yeah.
But that reminds me though, another big piece of news that's occurred is they brought the trams back to Disneyland. Do you know what I'm talking about with those, Liam?
I think are they on like Main Street?
No. Oh wait, no. Those are the trolleys. Is there a trolley on? I'm pretty sure there's a trolley on Main Street. No,
Okay, maybe that's something.
the trams are from like the Mickey and Friends parking lot. So like you go down the escalator and then like you wait in a line and then like you can like get on like a tram that drives you from the
Oh, it's like a shuttle.
oh yeah the shuttle yeah basically
Okay.
like
Are they
shuttles
are
you
they
over.
okay? Are they like trains or are they like
I'm pretty sure they're called trams. Let me double check. Now that like you got me like thinking. Disneyland trams. Yep, they're called trams. So Disneyland trams returned on Wednesday,
are they
February
like are
28th.
they buses or are they like or are
No,
they
they're not.
trams like they're trains or are they is it like you go to a station from a parking lot or how does it work?
So you're at the parking lot, and they just kind of like it's like these type things that line up outside. I'll send you a thing in the. We're on Zoom, so yeah, I sent you a Zoom thing if you want to take a look at it. For those of you who are listening, if you don't know what the trams look like, you can just type up Disneyland trams online. It's kind of like a. Uh, it's just like a shuttle service. It's not like I don't know what to call them besides trams, to be honest. Do you see the photo, Liam?
Yeah.
What would you call
Okay.
those?
Interesting.
They're just like
Uh, yeah. I don't know. Uh, I guess. Yeah. I'd probably call it a. I don't know. I guess. Yeah. Both tram and shuttle. Neither of them seem like technically right.
oh well.
I'm
Whatever
just
you
gonna
want to
call
call
which.
it.
I'm just gonna call whichever. Yeah, just like call them one way or the other. Just know that whichever one you're using is wrong.
Okay. Well, the incorrect trams. So these trams help save people that are walking or people that are going to Disneyland a 2/3 mile walk. So from the parking lot to Disneyland is 2/3 mile, like two or two, yeah, 2/3 mile. So it like helps people who don't want to do all that extra walking like before they're even getting into the park, you know. And then especially on
Right.
like on their way back at the end of the day, like, the trams run to the night, so like they drive you back, which is the more important part because everyone's tired. So it like takes you back
Yeah.
to the garage. Um, that's a benefit of that. So they finally returned about a week, like a week and a half ago. So we didn't cover this last week because we didn't have an episode, but that's another big part of Disneyland that's like finally returning to normal. Um, I don't know if you've been keeping up with COVID, Liam. Have you been noticing how like a lot of restrictions are finally being rolled back?
I've heard. I've heard. I feel like I've heard a couple of like different things of restrictions being rolled back. I haven't been following it like overall though. I've heard. I did hear um, that California is starting to roll back some of the like the indoor restrictions for stuff. I forget what if it was it masks indoors.
Yeah, so Disney, I forget if we talked about it on the show, but Disneyland no longer requires masks indoors, I believe, at Disneyland.
Hmm.
So if you go to Disneyland, it's basically like kind of looks like normal. It might be some kind of rule like only vaccinated people, but they have no way of enforcing that.
Yeah,
Um,
it's the same thing as it's the same thing as you don't have to wear a mask if you're vaccinated. It's they're not gonna check. So it's really
you don't
it's
have to
like
wear a
a
mask.
yeah it's like it's recommended but not required kind of thing.
Uh-huh. So, like you're saying, it's kind of good to see Disneyland kind of return to normal. COVID numbers are dropping down pretty low, so like it's good to see that like things are in the world are generally going back to normal. Of course, that there's always spikes in the future, spike like COVID spikes, and also like future things that could happen. But at the moment, things are looking good. Um, I feel a lot more personally. I feel a lot more comfortable going back to the park now than I did like a month or two ago. So
Oh yeah, definitely more than kind of when Omicron was first rearing its head.
that went wild. So we had the trams return. We had they're changing downtown Disney. We had this is the reason I'm going to go tomorrow. Is they announced that they're changing Toontown. So Liam, are you familiar with? Yeah, you're familiar with Toontown at Disney, right?
I think I've seen pictures of it. I think we talked about it. I think we've yeah I think we talked about it one of the last podcast episodes that was on. I think I've seen pictures of it. I don't remember I don't remember what specific rides are there or anything
So that's because the rides are all kiddie rides anyway. you
though. Oh,
should
okay.
you should have seen.
Figures.
I think it was when Sasha and I when we went on the Go Gadget coaster. Ride lasts less than 60 seconds. I swear. Like it is one of the shortest rides at Disneyland. Like you'll wait 30 minutes and it's a 60-second ride tops. And we got on it, and as soon as we got off, Sasha just starts like hysterically laughing, and I look at her, I'm like, how short the ride was, and she was like, yeah. So like, there's the Gadgets mini go coaster there. There's like a lot of like interactive things at Toontown. Roger Rabbit's Wild is it Roger Rabbit's Wild Ride, Wild Spin? Uh, Roger Rabbit's it's called Cartoon Spin. There we go. Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. There might be like one other ride there, but the most important thing is they're including a new ride. They're making a new ride called Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railroad, which is or Railway, which was like a ride they have at Disney World currently. That they also are making like a brand new show building for here at Disneyland. So they're almost done with that show building, and I think that's why like everything is getting closed down because I think I read somewhere like this is supposed to like Toontown is supposed to um reopen sometime in 2023 It says it will open on an unannounced date in early 2023. So until then, we've got uh, a couple days until it closes. I think it closes, yeah, it's supposed to close on March 9th. So March 8th is the last day that you can go see the old Toontown before they change it, you know? Does it make sense?
Right. Yeah. Okay. So March. Okay. So it's gonna be they're closing it. They're closing it down in like a little under a week. But they're it's not the new thing isn't showing up until uh like next year.
Yeah, like basically like they're closing it for like 1 year basically. So that's why I'm
Okay.
trying to go is so to see it before like you probably won't be able to see it when you go in when you call it when you go in May for
May.
Star Wars Land or for Star or like for Galaxy's Edge. We're not going to like be able to go into Toontown. But at the same time they're not like changing a huge part of Toon. Like they're changing it a lot. But like apparently like the rides are just getting like a reimagining. Like I don't think they're taking anything away from like my understanding of it. So it just says like the rest of the land is set to be reimagined. So
Would you say it's is it something where it's like is there anything that would be oh man if it's crazy if that I went to Toontown before they changed it and it's or it's I'm happy I managed to go on this ride before they changed Toontown. So now it's all different. Like is there
no,
a thing
there are
is
no
there anything okay.
there is no redeeming quality about Toontown. I am
Okay,
so
so there's not
sorry.
like a space mountain. There's not like a space mountain or something where you're a classic thing to
Honestly,
do is that Toontown that you'd be
Toontown.
missing out on.
I always forget Toontown even exists. To be quite like frank, I know some people. There's probably some like Disney adult out there that's like, "Oh my gosh, heresy! You can't like not love Toontown." But Toontown, like, as a kid, if you have kids, like this is probably a major impact for you, because like parents will like love to take their kids here to like meet Mickey or Minnie or like oh, and I think it's like Goofy's Clubhouse or like Mickey's Clubhouse or something. Like these are like things that like you take your kid to. Like I told you that that coaster. It's like a 60-second ride. It's fun, but it's just like you'd have 10 times more fun going on Space Mountain. You know,
Yeah.
the Roger Rabbit's Wild Cartoon Spin one. You can find 6 other dark rides at Disneyland that are just like it. You know, so you're not missing anything on that as well. Like I said, I don't think the rides
It's
are.
more just like kind of a lot of legacy kind of like
Yeah, it's just kind of like I'd want to go. You'd want if you like you've been to Toontown, you want to go to be like, oh, this is what it looked like before. Take like a mental picture and then come back a year later and be like, okay, let's see what they've changed. That's kind of why, but at the same time, like you're not missing. It's not like this is like changing. It's not like it's changing.
they're not like retiring they're not like retiring It's a Small World or something.
Yeah, yeah, no, of course not. Like it's that one's in Fantasyland, so it's not even like a part of Toontown. But
Right.
I would say like the majority of the like it's not like they're changing like Tomorrowland, you know, which like is like the next like expected update. But I would say most times I go to Disneyland, I don't even go to Toontown unless like there's something I absolutely want to do there. Like I think the last time I went was because like I'd never really gone on the rides in Toontown, and the rides were like 1 minute wait, so it was kind of like oh I'll give it a try. But honestly,
Oh yeah, do you
you're not
think they're
missing much.
gonna with them easing restrictions and stuff, do you think they're gonna because don't isn't there a didn't they limit the amount of people that can go to the park at one time?
That's a good question. So they're still doing the reservation system, and as far as I know, Disneyland is like back to like normal capacity, just like not as many people are going. But
Okay.
because I've seen like on like the people tracker, like there's still like all the lines and everything have like returned to normal. You know what I mean? Like the queue sections, like there's no more 6 foot social distancing. Queues can be in line inside again. Like when we went, I believe all the queue lines had to be outside. So like we were like standing out in the heat. But that is like since that's no longer implemented, like every queue line is basically back to normal, and the times for these waits are just as like high as they always are. Like I
Okay.
think I looked yesterday. Actually, it's 9 o'clock right now. I'm pretty sure Disneyland's closed, but one thing I like to do is I like to hop on the app and like um check out like yeah, I think Disneyland closes at 9 today. But normally, I think it was yesterday I checked. Rise of the Resistance was like 105-minute wait time, which like makes sense because it's like one of the newest rides. But like everything else is like around 20 to 30 minutes. Indiana Jones is around like 100, or I mean, it was around like 60 minutes. So it's kind of like everything at Disneyland is basically back to normal. We just haven't really seen like a. I don't think we've seen like a day where there's just like it's overpacked. But I also like don't really go on days when it's overpacked because for
Yeah,
like obvious reasons.
I'm curious if that's another part of like what I'm trying to decide about, about when I want to go during the day, because I'm I don't know if it's gonna be more if it's gonna be packed on May 4th, even though the May 4th stuff doesn't start yet. Like people may still go on May 4th just to go on May 4th.
Oh yeah, but like they get kicked out if they're not in the special event after like a certain time.
Yeah, but I meant like if as opposed to if I wanted to go like if I was choosing if I decided, oh, I'm gonna go one time during the day, and then I have this the the May 4th like night event ticket. Would it be better to go during the day on May 4th, even if there's a bunch of people there because they want to do like May the 4th stuff, and they want even though like they want to do, you know,
Okay,
daytime May
so
the 4th stuff
yeah,
like
so
getting
you're
in.
either way you're gonna get a lot of people because May is when summer begins, so like that's when a ton of people start going to the park.
True. What about going in like April or something?
I think April might be your best move. I could check the
Okay.
another fun thing to do is there's a Disneyland crowd tracker, which like I check pretty often as well. So it's let me see if I can. It's usually called like is it packed or yeah. So we'll see today. Okay, show me today. How do I look in future? How do I look in the calendar? Crowd forecast, best days to go in 2022. It says the best time to go is April 26th to 28th. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So,
Like kind of the time right before when like the time where most people would just be like, I'm just gonna wait for the summer to do this.
yeah, you kind of hit the spot where it's right after spring break. Spring breaks go all the way through March and like halfway through April. So that's why like like April's super crowded. And then
Yeah,
grad
it's
night
like Easter and stuff.
yeah, and then grad nights appear like in May. So
Okay.
it says actually, ironically, it says May 3rd to May 4th is a good day to go. So maybe May 4th actually is a good day to go, like during the daytime.
Oh, damn.
So that's pretty ironic. But I get, like, honestly, your best bet might be like April 26th or like sometime early or late April. For
Yeah.
also for the viewers listening, if you hate big crowds, those are the best times. Unfortunately, I think a couple rides are down right now. I think Splash Mountain is down right now. I don't know
Okay.
like when that's supposed to like reopen. So that is like one ride you'll miss out on if you would like win right now. Um, Not sure. There might have been another couple rides, but yeah, if you want to hit Toontown for anyone listening, that like you want to go pretty soon before that closes down. I think that's about it. I think I covered everything Disneyland wise that's going on right now. I'm sure we missed something in the past couple of weeks, but those are like the main things that are going down in Disney. I think they have the Food and Wine Festival happening pretty soon. They also had the what's it called? Like the Lunar New Year stuff going on in over in California Adventure, but I think that's coming to an end now that the Food and Wine Festival's starting. And then I think I don't know. I think that's about it. Any other comments from you? Anything of those stick out to you, Liam?
Um, no, I don't think so. I'm not. I think when I've gone to Disneyland, I'll have more like Disneyland related. Like, oh man, I'm curious if the fucking the Northwest water fountain in Tomorrowland
Being destroyed.
yeah is being moved to closer to the Pluto's water fountain extravaganza or water park extravaganza. Whatever. I'm just making up. I'm just thinking of possible areas in Disneyland. I'm sorry, my mind is just on Elden Ring.
Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. All right. Here's something that's Elden Ring related. Disney launches new neighborhood community, Story Living. That is not. It is. It is not Elden Ring related. I was just pulling your shade.
Yeah, there's a section where you have to go through a bit of golden myth, and
Yeah,
it's
you gotta fight your way to the living community. Once you get there, you become the Elden Lord.
yeah. There's a red bar that appears at the bottom that says "Angered Mouse," and music starts playing.
Once you beat him halfway, it goes into a second phase where he just says, "Hey, I was gonna say something. I'm gonna have to mute this later." But like, you yucked up. I don't know. Oh
You're
gosh.
done yucked up now.
So,
No.
reading off of ABC News, this says
But you're
on.
foolish and different.
This is some news from 2 or 3 weeks ago. That's so on it said on Wednesday. It was like a couple weeks ago though. Disney announced the launch of Story Living by Disney, a new community for Disney fans to live in that incorporates the company's brand of magic. So I guess you can now live in a Disneyland area. So it's going to be in Rancho Mirage, California, which is located in California's Coachella Valley. So I guess to my best understanding, it's just like a living community surrounding like a lake. It says it'll have private homes and a hotel. It will surround a 24-acre Grand Crystalline turquoise lagoon. It will also have a clubhouse and feature Disney programming, entertainment, and activities throughout the year. So Liam, are you living in
Disney's so
the
fun.
Disney cult?
Or so freaking weird.
Yeah, this one got me. This sounds like an Amazon city or something. You know what I mean? Amazon, the company, like oh, or like, do you remember like hearing about those like back with like the gold rush where it was like the company owned city, and then like they paid like the employees and like company money that like you could spend at the company store.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like are you talking about like in? I think I know kind of what you're talking about. Like in like the 1800s and stuff.
Yeah, like it seems very much like, why is a
Yeah.
company like Disney making a living
I'm waiting for Disney to go full East India trading company and
company?
just like have their own private army and like control a large just like control and govern a large like body of sovereign land and
Guys,
just
you didn't hear that? Screw NATO. Disney's going in to help Ukraine.
yeah. Disney's deploying their Imagineers. I don't know what it
Disney
is. I don't know.
brand Stinger missiles. You see Tony Stark, instead of a Stark missile landing next to him, it just says Disney on it.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah. What would that look like? The Disney, the Disney branded defense of Ukraine. The
That's
liberation of Kiev is brought to you by the new movie Shang-Chi.
The next Call of Duty
the
is
Multiverse of Madness.
the next Call of Duty is Russia versus Disney. What was it like,
Dude,
Makarov?
hey man, if you got it, the gun skins would be insane.
Oh, you betcha.
You betcha.
If you if you get the camos for all the guns, you get a hidden Mickey camo.
Yeah, it's the this is fucked. This is but the the videos of Russian of like the Russian troops who are being like, yeah, we didn't know that we were like invading Ukraine or anything. They didn't tell us anything. They're like, they told us we were going to Disneyland. What the heck?
Oh gosh, we're
We
gonna get
did
this
great training, everyone. We're going into Disney. We're doing an exercise in Disneyland.
We're gonna get this
Next
podcast flagged for like politics or something, bro. Oh, this is terrible.
next thing I know, I see a little green goofy cap like poking out from like behind a trench, and there's like a there's a light machine gun pointed in my direction. You're just like, oh man, you stepped right into my line of sight. Gorsh.
Just have you have like tunnels underneath it dug by the miners from Snow White, like infiltrating
Yeah,
enemy
the
lines.
seven dwarfs.
It's like,
Yeah,
well, you played Clash Royale, right?
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like the miner, how he like digs
Yeah.
under.
Yeah, yeah. You see, yeah, it's you just see a footage of Russian troops like slowly like stepping through the forest of like the forest of Ukraine, like watching for any
The wheat
offensive like
fields of
guerrilla troops,
Ukraine.
and you just hear muffled, ho 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 ho. It's like they're beneath us.
They just start throwing poisoned apples at the enemy.
Just like a hand reaches up and just like grabs them. Just like, trust me, I'm really happy.
Wait, what? Yeah, well, like what's the name of I couldn't tell you any of the names of the dwarfs off the top of my head.
Oh well, or they're
Dwarves
like they're trying to
names.
sneak up on them, and they just like, God damn it, Sneezy.
I looked up dwarf names and it pulled up all the ones from The Hobbit. uh,
Oh yes, it's Happy, Sneezy, Dopey, and Thorn, Oak, and Shield. And they're all driving the Russians out of Ukraine.
The Russians took the Arkenstone. They want it back.
with the help of Anger Mouse.
So he's like, yeah, normally I'm pretty bashful, but you messed with me on the wrong day, and like grabs the Russian's leg and pulls him under.
Yeah.
Doc's, you know, one of the dwarves is named Doc.
Oh yeah.
He's like, normally I'm a doc, but not. Or what is it like? Normally I save lives. Today I take them. Or I don't know something.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like, Dopey needs a blood transfusion. Stat. We're losing it. We're losing it.
All right, well we beat that one to death. All right, so what's next?
Oh man, there are jokes you can make off of that. Though.
Oh yeah. Whew, okay.
Yeah, beat that one to death. Speaking of Elden Ring.
Yeah, true. Oh, speaking of Elden Ring, composer John Williams returns to Star Wars with new Obi-Wan Kenobi theme.
Ooh, that is. Hey, Disneyland Disney news. That's actually very interesting.
Oh, actually, this actually says with new Elden Ring theme. There we go. I misread.
Dude, if honestly, John Williams making the music for Elden Ring would be like the only thing that could make that game better. Like you got story by George R. R. Martin, game by Hideo.
Okay, nice.
The guy, the Dark Souls guy, the Hideo. I'm not even gonna try.
Moving on. So yeah, no. What do you think? I was not expecting John Williams to put out score for Obi-Wan, but I think that's like honestly a really big like turn of events.
Oh yeah.
I already knew the show was gonna be good, but this is just gonna make it top tier.
Yeah, I'm yeah. It gives me something that it's like, okay, like there are some things that's like, oh, it's like it's possible that Ewan McGregor may not have, like, Ewan McGregor does a great job, but like he's a great actor. But if they don't, if they give him, it's if they give him if his lines aren't that great, you know, it could be a little hit or miss. You know, I'm not going into it being like, oh man, this show is definitely going to be good.
I
But
literally
you
hope
know,
all of his lines are George Lucas, Disney, or prequel lines. If they're not, I mean, every line,
honestly,
any word he says, people are gonna love. But you know,
yeah, honestly, the it's more like regardless. I think even if the lines are bad, I imagine Ewan McGregor's portrayal of them will still be the best in the show. But I'm more just I want I don't know I want to be I want a Disney show that I feel like I actually care about. It's I don't know. Not care. I care about it in the sense of like all the Disney shows. I care about them in the sense of like, oh, it is interesting seeing what happens to these characters that I like. But in terms of the events of the shows, like you know the I want a show that's like that doesn't play it as safe. I don't know. I haven't. It's and I know it's not. I'm probably not going to get that from an Obi-Wan show, especially if it's like Don Williams is attached to it. It's probably going to be a more kind of a more Mandalorian type like mainstream like it's going to be a big like push for people to sign up for Disney Plus and stuff. So it's not going to be they're not going to do anything crazy with it, or maybe they will. I don't know, but it's I find it uh, hard. Part of I think what I've realized when why I'm not like at the edge of my seat to go like watch something like Book of Boba Fett or like watch Loki, even though those are both shows I don't want spoiled for me and I want to know what happens and I'm interested in like how it adds to the story. It's I'll I find I've thinking about it. I feel like I'm more interested in when it comes to Disney shows. I'm more interested in the story after I've seen it than while I'm watching it because like while you're watching it, it's the uh, scenes are all very made the way scenes are made, if that makes sense.
you lost me at the
Like
end there.
it's uh I'm trying to figure out how to
You got this. You got
there
this.
yeah it's all very the shows are very much written as a sequence of events that are have been decided are going to take place during this story as opposed to a journey that every moment is like based on the previous. It doesn't feel like a fluid um like journey that you're being taken on. It's more you're waiting for the next thing to happen. It's a bunch of moments it's a bunch of pre-planned moments that are like super guaranteed that you can't argue that they're not awesome. You can't argue uh, that it's not cool to see Luke Skywalker show up at the end of the Mandalorian. It's all the Disney shows are just waiting for those things to happen. It's like WandaVision, the first three episodes of WandaVision. I still haven't seen the last few episodes, but I need to do
Can you
that.
speak about it then?
No, I can just speaking about the first like the bits that I've seen. It's like WandaVision, the the bits where uh the bits where they're like on TV and stuff and like doing things. It's like it's not necessarily not entertaining. It's like it's entertaining and it's fun and it's like, it's neat. It's like it's fun to see like spending more time with the characters and seeing them doing stuff. But really it feels like the show is just kind of providing kind of just finding kind of fun kooky stuff to do in between the moments where where they show uh like footage from outside of the Wanda simulation or whatever it is, or show a moment where something just they hint that something's out of place, or it's a bunch of like there's not there's not a sense of like character. you don't get the sense that these are characters living their lives. You get the sense that they're characters in a show that writers are having do cool things,
Yeah,
and it's cool to see the next cool thing that they're doing. But
I would
it's
agree with that. Like, I felt like I know you haven't seen Book of Boba Fett, and I'm not here to spoil Book of Boba Fett, but it didn't feel like the universe didn't feel lived in. You know, like you said, it's just kind of like everyone's waiting to interact with everyone else. You know, it's not really like things are happening in like the background. You know.
yeah. Yeah,
So
like
like,
the one like standout exception for me from like Mandalorian is like I really liked Bill Burr's like character. The uh
the prison guy.
was he the prison? He's the guy that I
Yeah,
was
like
gonna say
the
he's
criminal guy.
uh I think so. He was the ex Empire soldier.
Yes, that's on that's accurate.
Okay, yeah, yeah. They escorted in that like that big train of like materials and stuff and stopped it from being blown up, right? And then they had the shootout inside the um what was I'm trying to remember what the operation was called. There was the off they're sitting at it's Manda it's the scene where Mando is sitting at the table with Bill Burr and with an Imperial officer, and the Imperial officer. Okay, okay. It's the Imperial office. It's the scene where they have the shootout, where the Imperial officer brings up Operation like Scorched Earth or something, and 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 how they like sacrificed a bunch of like Empire soldiers. Anyway, the point I'm making is that is his character.
Yeah, why'd you stop talking?
Oh, sorry.
No,
It
you're
was
good.
you
So what
weren't
was the
you weren't
last part?
you.
What was the last like thought you were saying?
Yeah,
Just
sorry.
to
You
to
weren't muted
derail.
on the call, so you weren't muted on the call. So I was stopping because you might just want to cut that part from the episode because you could kind of
Yeah,
hear
I'll
you
just probably
talking in the
just
background.
I'll just probably cut it. But what was the last part you were saying?
Oh, I was just saying that that scene, like his character was like something where it felt like uh, uh, where I felt like, oh hey, he's an actual character. It's like, okay, I could see this guy. It gave like a little bit of a window into like, okay, this guy feels like he is a person that lives in the Star Wars universe. It's like he's like he has a life, he has, regrets, and he feels the weight of like life and death. And it's not like it's like it's acknowledging that there are things that are happening outside of the context of the story of the show that we are currently in, and that it's a living breathing world, as opposed to kind of the sense of um, you know I don't know, maybe
Okay, so
maybe I'm being
maybe we're getting a little too off track then. I guess like because we were just talking. I guess all I really wanted to touch on is like the introduction of John Williams' score into the show. I guess I'd
yeah,
rather
maybe
know. I guess like because we can't
I'll save my
really.
points
Yeah.
once I watch Book of Boba Fett. I'll probably have more like concrete ways of explaining what
Plus,
I'm talking about. That's
You better watch Obi-Wan as that's dropping. That's the better. I think that's the thing you gotta strive for right now. Is making
yeah,
sure like
I'll
you're watching them as each episode comes out. But like what you're saying isn't like not. I'm not saying it's not valid. I'm saying that like you're kind of like making that assumption of Boba Fett without having seen it, as well
no,
as
I'm not making that assumption of both. I'm talking more of the
the
of
Mandalorian.
more pretty much of Mandalorian and like pretty much like all Disney properties. Like even like it was the thing that the thing that I'm talking about is the reason why the interactions between the uh Spider-Man, like the three Spider-Men in Far From Home, felt so natural and like and like had a depth to them that I feel like a lot of other Marvel stuff doesn't have, because everything just is all very, you know, surface level. Just it's just not surface level. It's just deep enough. It's the minimum amount of depth needed to not be called one dimensional. Is how
Yeah,
I would say it.
I get what you're saying. Like there's like you're not getting like 12. We're not getting philosophical by watching WandaVision. We're like
Yeah, not
we
that
are
you need
developing
to.
Wanda, but it's just I get what you're saying. But I guess like my point is like just to like back it up when because we can't really make assumptions at least at the moment for Obi-Wan, but like does knowing that John Williams is a part of it like make you feel like much better about the show, or does it not really change like your opinion at all going in?
It doesn't necessarily mean that I think it's less likely to have the problems I'm worried it could have. But it means that there's I know like music in a show or movie is like real excuse me is like really like I think makes it is really important to a movie or show. So it means even if those things aren't as good, the music will still help me enjoy it. Like it means that there's guaranteed going to be the music is guaranteed going to be good.
Okay,
So
so you're still, but like, does it make you more excited, less excited, or are you like the same amount? Like for me, like I am now more excited for the show.
I'd
Like,
say I'm now more excited because it's now I have like I can be like, okay, I'm going in to see Ewan McGregor and it's got a John Williams score. So like chances are even if you know,
even if you don't like the rest of it, you're gonna like those two parts of it.
yeah, it's more even if the complete like flop like everything else about it is awful, or even if like a lot of other stuff about it is awful, chances are there's also going to be another one or two other things that are at least decent. So there's going to be it makes it more likely that I'm not going to have to force myself to watch the show if it ends up being bad, and if it ends up being good, it could end up being great. Is I guess how to put it.
Uh-huh.
So it makes it more like it's it's a it's an upfront like boost. It's I know that it's not going to be 100% bad.
Okay. I mean,
So
like
I'm
we'll have to wait and
it's
see, but like I get what you're saying. Like it
I'm still cautious because it's
because it's Disney, because you think it's just gonna follow the formula, which I agree with you. It probably will.
yeah, it's not that I necessarily am gonna hate it. It's more that it's like I'm gonna watch it and I'll be like, yeah, this is fun. I'm enjoying it, and it's good enough that it's gonna be popular, and they're gonna be like, oh, this works. It doesn't mean I want to see a billion of these. Like part of I swear I'm gonna say like two sentences.
Okay, go.
Part of what I like about Elden Ring is that
Oh gosh.
it's 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 very unique and is not it is very obvious that it is a labor of love, and that it is uh, you can tell that the that everything that was made in the game was made out of love for the game and wanting the players to have a good time, and uh, creating a world that was fun and interesting to create, as opposed to how I feel with Disney. It's what is successful. It's really just what is successful, even if that's still based on what is successful and good. There's still a there's still a it doesn't there never feels like
All
there's
right,
a
I'm
fourth
cutting your.
wall.
Yeah, I was gonna cut off your two
Yeah,
sentences, but I was just gonna say like
yeah,
I think people agree with that with like the MCU movies where they figured out what was successful, and as a result, they just keep like reprinting it, even though like it's good and it's not like one dimensional. It they are very similar together,
yeah.
which yeah.
Especially when it's after Endgame, it's like, okay, what could possibly be the end to the Marvel story? And it's like, okay, well, it's not saving the universe because we've already done that. So at a certain point, it's just the answer is in everyone's minds is, well, when it stops making money.
Yeah.
And so that
So I always think about that a lot if there's an end to the MCU, but it's looking like it's gonna be going for a long time. But to end on that note, at least for like our Star Wars news, I don't think there's any other really Marvel news at the moment except that Moon Knight comes out March 30th. Are you planning on seeing that, Liam?
I might. How many episodes are? I might watch that.
It's probably like
I'm.
another 6 episode thing. Probably not that
I.
long.
I'll probably. I want to. I'll say I want to watch that because I like Oscar Isaac,
And
and
then yeah.
I'm curious. I'm curious to see how Oscar Isaac does a Marvel.
They fly now. They fly now.
They fly now.
So I think that's all of that in Marvel and Star Wars, and then and other Disney like movie properties. There's this new movie dropping in a week on March 11th called Turning Red. It looks like a kid, like kind of like a kid Disney movie, similar animation style to
Oh, is it? It's
Luca.
like. I mean, I saw like a brief advertisement for that the other day.
I don't know. It just doesn't look good to me, to be honest. It's coming out on Disney Plus, so I might watch it. We'll definitely watch it to review it at some point, but I'm not in like a
After our Black Widow review.
Oh yes, of course. After the Black Widow review.
Wait, 1 second. I gotta.
Or
see
after the
something.
Shang-Chi review and the Spider. Oh, we did the Spider-Man review, kinda. But
Yeah. Sorry. I have to see it.
he's like, I gotta see this.
No, sorry. I'm looking up. Okay. Don't worry. As long as we do, the Black Widow review, sometime in the next like 4 months or so, we will get it out before we hit the 1 year mark of that movie having come out.
I think we can do it. We'll get it done. We'll have that be the special for our. We're coming up on our 1 year anniversary of the podcast. We'll actually we'll have something
Really?
special for y'all. You're like, wait, already?
Oh my god. Yeah, it's crazy. Our it's the 1 year anniversary. It's welcome to Councils and Company. It's the 1 year anniversary of our weekly podcast. Welcome to episode 12.
No, we've done a decent job. We've almost hit half of our target, so
Yeah.
well, hopefully next time we come around it'll be like 80th episode as opposed to 60th episode for the. We'll see as soon as we get
Yeah,
there.
what episode is this? What episode?
This is actually our 30th episode, so thank you for listening.
Hey.
For anyone who's made it 30 episodes in and is still listening to Liam and I just talk to each other. So
Hell yeah. I haven't.
Unbelievable. So, but besides that, I think that's all the Disney news I've got. Any life updates from you while we're at it, Liam? I forgot to do the life updates part.
Well, what do you think my life update, man?
Elden
Ring is so much.
He's like, yes, I'm updating Elden Ring as we speak.
I am. Let me make sure there's not any that have come up since we've been talking.
Oh, of course.
Honestly,
he's got it on loop of checking for updates every 5 minutes.
Yeah. Honestly, not gonna. Part of what's been so much fun about Elden Ring is it's been a long time since I've kind of been in on like I've gotten a game at the same time everyone else has gotten a game when like a Red Dead 2 or like a Skyrim comes out. And so it's been fun to be like the game everyone is hyped about, I'm also playing. And it's as fun as everyone is saying. And it's like, wait, there can be high expectations and they can be met or even exceeded. That goes against my cynical nature. What the hell?
I missed the last part. What?
Oh, I was just saying it's like sorry, I realized we haven't finished the podcast episode yet. Let's put the viewers out of their misery, and I'll continue talking to you about this after the call.
All right,
after
thank you
the
all.
recording.
Thank you all for listening so much. We heard Liam go on a little rant there, and hopefully you were listening because I blinked out at the end.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll try to watch Book of Boba Fett so I can actually have something Disney related to talk about. But I get stuck on things and I get excited about it.
Oh,
I think I did a similar thing when Dune came out, and I will do a similar thing. Yeah, and I will do a similar thing when the next thing comes out. When the next thing I get obsessed with happens, which who knows could be the Obi-Wan show. We don't know yet.
I'm calling it now. The whole world falls in love with Obi-Wan again. So that's all the time we have for this episode. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed what you heard today, subscribe to us on YouTube. Give us a follow on Spotify for when these finally go up on Spotify. Make sure to tune into our episode next week where I discuss my trip to Disneyland. Hopefully Wineth is also available to discuss her experience at Disneyland as well. Now that like pandemic restrictions are rolling back and things are safer again. And yeah, you can always follow us on Instagram at Castles and Company, on Twitter at Castles, capital N Company, and also on our website, castlesandcompany.com, where you can find links to our Patreon page and our Discord server. So until
Someone should make a Disney texture pack for the bosses in Elden Ring.
No, that's the you gotta make a Castles and Company camo for the new Call of Duty Disney versus Russia. So
No, I was saying like you sorry. I was saying you dress up like you have like Margaret the Fell, but he's like Pete from like
Until next time, remember this: laughter is timeless. Liam has no age, and dreams are
Put your
forever.
ambitions to rest.
Have a magical, ambitionless rest of your day. Thanks for listening.